I would have started in aesthetic for the past, what, 5 years of my own business, owning my own business, but I am actually in the field for the past 10 to 12 years. Prior to that, I was in makeup. So of course, you know, you're dabbling up with all the colors and all the whatever, you know, you're excited about doing makeup. But it wasn't, for me, it wasn't just staying at that level. I wanted to do more, you know. So of course, you wanted to learn more about the skin. And that is what made me venture into doing an aesthetic course. And of course, by extension, becoming a licensed massage therapist, which was quite interesting. So
why so?
Yes.
Why? Why was it interesting? I'm curious.
I guess learning about the human body was nice and it was fun. It was fun to do, you know. And
which is good.
Having somebody to say, oh my God, I feel so good, oh, I'm so relaxed, and you know, they could actually come and distress and be themselves. They could probably even open up to you, of course, a couple of times and all of that. So after doing my course and stuff, and of course working in some of the establishment, which is some of the prime spas in Trinidad, I wanted to own my own place, you know, someday. So that was always my vision in my head, you know, I have to open my own place someday and, you know, actually become an entrepreneur. And as I go along working in these spas, I will look at little tips or little hints that I could say, okay, I want to do this, I want to have this kind of setup, that kind of thing. And from there, I started to look for a place. And I said, you know what, this year is it. I'm going to actually open up. And that was in 2011, after working at least probably 3 spas over the past 7 years. So I would have opened up in 2011 on Gala Street and then moved to St. James, where I'm now located. So yeah, so that's my startup.
How difficult was it actually finding a space? I know that is one of the hardest things to do, to find a space, and especially in a business like yours, you actually do need some sort of space. Finding a space, getting financing for your business as well, because that's something else. I mean, you would have had your clients from across the board who would be comfortable with you and would continue to stay with you. But it's always finding that space, finding the right rent for your budget, finding financing for your business. How difficult was that for you?
It was a bit challenging because, of course, you will look at the papers, you will look at the market, and you will see rent starts from like 10,000, 12,000, 15,000. But what I did first, branching off on my own, I become a rental. So I subletted from someone, you know, so that was pretty easy because it was actually getting on board and just like having like a little space or a room or whatever.
As a starter space.
You know, so that was good because I didn't really have to come in and do much work. So that was pretty easy for me at that point. But then venturing to St. James, that was when it started to become a little challenging.
Why so?
Because again, it goes back to finding that space at the budget you're looking for. So I probably looked for like about a year, knowing that after becoming a subletter, I wanted to move on and get somewhere bigger, you know, because of course your clientele is growing. And again, I started to look because I'm a very vision person. Once I know I have an aim, I want to start a venture in that direction. So I started looking again after 2011 to 2012, I would believe. And I found a really nice house in St. James, and of course, the challenges having to set up because of course you have to create this spa finish. So it was a lot of work. I must say with the help of my husband, that was very supportive because he is into construction. So setting up the ambience, it was a lot of work. It probably take me like probably 2 weeks to do it.
That wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks. So that was pretty okay, but finding the place, yes, it was tough. And then of course
financing. What was that like?
That was, oh my God, being a sole trader and actually having to go to the bank, oh my God, it's, of course you have to do up all your paperwork and you have to do up your projections, and they want to see like where you're going to be in the next year or the next 2 years. So I had one of my accountant friends. She's also one of my clients, and I told her, I said, Rachel, I need to get some paperwork done to get, you know, funds and stuff like that. When I had started off in 2011, prior to being a rental, I had used my own funds. But then having to move to St. James, of course, you want more collateral. So I had to do up that projection for the bank and that kind of thing, and actually going to do a loan to expand. And it was a bit tricky, but eventually I did get through it all. So I must say thanks to Republic Bank and all my supporters.
Now, I know that you had your clientele already,
Yeah.
so basically it was just trying to get the infrastructure in place and that sort of thing. But you live in South.
Yeah.
You chose St. James. Why not stay in the Southland?
Having built a clientele over the years in Port of Spain, it was easy for me to do that transition, you know, because of course people would already know you and know you by name and get comfortable with you, trust you, because of course it's your skin you're dealing with. And when I told clients, listen, I'm looking to open up, I'm looking to move, it's like, where, when, you know, we're excited, we're going to come and, you know, support you and that kind of thing. So that was good, but if I had to like start all over into South, I would have to build a clientele all over. So staying in St. James or Woodbrook, Port of Spain, anywhere around that area, it was easier for me to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about products and things like that? We're not going to get into specific products, but in women purchasing products, are they open to, because they know it's a good product, open to buying the more expensive ones than not?
I would say yes, because the clientele that I have, they're very, what I would say, they're very mindful of what they use on their skin. So they don't want to know that they can go to Superfarm or to Pennywise or these regular distributor stores and get product where everybody else is using. They want something unique, something that is, you know, have some sort of backing behind it, and they can know you're getting good results. So the product that I use is Sotis, and it's out of Paris. So getting clients to purchase this, it was easy.
It's not difficult to do. All right. Now, I keep saying women, but I know that you probably have male clientele as well. So it's both. Did you find it a little more difficult being a woman, and because I did mention that earlier, a female entrepreneur, because that's what you are. Did you find it more difficult getting into business as a woman, as opposed to, you know, men may think that it's a little bit, or it may find it a little bit more easier to get into business? Did you have encountered difficulties at all? I mean, this type of business would probably accommodate, you know,
more women, but not really, you know. As much as I had mostly women clients, my male clients also follow me. You know, because what you will find is a lot of business type gentlemen coming into the spas and want to do pedicures and manicures, because of course they're into a lot of meetings and conferences and they want to look good. So before it was based on just women doing these aesthetic stuff or skincare, but then over the years it has evolved, and you know, men want to take care of themselves as well because they want to look good for their second half, you know. So I don't think getting into it as a woman was challenging for me. I never really had any encounterment with that.
With respect to the economy and the way that it is now, it's getting a little bit tighter, a little bit more difficult. How, if any, has that affected you?
I must say it did impact on me in 2014. That is when I started to see the difference in the downturn in respect to clients. Like, certain days you'll be extremely booked, and then sometimes you probably have like 2 clients or 3 clients, so it's hard to see the fall, you know. But with that, I will say you want to try and maintain marketing, because the more you market, the more people get to know about you, and not really me as a person, as Melissa, because your friends will know you as Melissa, but they will know the name. So I think it's really about marketing your name and your brand and what you sell. And marketing is something I don't want to really stop or put on the back burner no time in my business, because you want to always build a stronger clientele, you know. So